Councilman South, do we have a quorum?
I believe we do.
Before we get ahead, we will now begin our meeting. Council, your agenda is in front of you. I will entertain a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
Make a motion we adopt the agenda as distributed.
And the second we have,
Second.
all in favor? And invocation. John, would you lead us in an invocation, please?
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity to gather. We thank you for the opportunity for this council and the mayor to serve this city and its residents, dear Lord. We ask you for guidance and direction and wisdom and good thought and ideas, dear Lord. We ask you for blessings upon each one of us. I ask you to watch over and take care of us. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Councilman Klaus, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The minutes of the January the 21st, 2020 special call council meeting have been distributed. I would entertain a motion that we adopt those minutes as distributed.
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Unanimous. Old business, discussion of appointments to boards and commissions. Council, I want to commend you for the diligent work that you have done to bring us to the place where I think that we're ready to put some action in place on our appointments. So if you'll turn to page, let me make sure, I believe it says page 1 of 2. Where it says appointments. And if we work off of that page, then what I'm going to do is, if you will notice, there's an expiration date on all of these. Luke Copeland, if you will, take Luke out of there. Luke is, he does not want to serve. He agreed to if we could not get a replacement. And we do have a replacement for him, and that would be David Keller. So the question becomes, if we start with David Keller as an example, then what date are we going to plug into with an expiration date? And I personally would think that we might be better off to do that on the one that expires 12/31 of 2020. So that is my recommendation to council, and I will listen to any discussion that we have.
I have no problem with that. It's something that on 12/30 or 1/1/21 we will be looking at again, and possibility of reappointment is certainly there.
So you want an individual motion on each of these?
We do.
Make a motion that we appoint David Keller to the Planning and Zoning Commission with the expiry of 12/31/2020.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Unanimous. And the next name on my list is Rodney Buckingham. Would anyone have I'll open for discussion as to when we want to put him in place.
I'll make a motion, we put Rodney on 12/31/2023.
We have a motion to put Rodney on 12/31/2023. Do I hear a second?
Second. Mr. Raffield.
Mr. Rathfield, second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Unanimous. Next up, we have John Sneve. And John wants to serve for the next 14 years. So tonight's the night that we could really track him. But anyone have a recommendation on that?
I make the recommendation, John Snavy, 12/31/22.
I agree. Okay. Have a motion for 12/31 of 2022.
Second.
Second. Discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Opposed, we have one abstaining.
I think that's a safe thing to do.
Yeah.
But it backfires, it's not my problem with jobs.
And Joanna Kearns, who is, I think everyone knows Joanna, has agreed to serve. So I'll take a recommendation on what date that we put her down for, an expiration.
I make the motion to put Joanna Kearns as the other 12/31/22.
We have a motion for 12/31 of 22. Do we have a second?
Second.
Discussion? In favor? Opposed? Unanimous. And that will leave our fifth Tom Kleinburg to be in Luke Copeland's place on 12/31 of 2021.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Discussion?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a comment as a matter of record. Mr. Copeland had reached out to staff several months ago and discussed his will to step down. I did have a conversation with Luke a few days ago, and as you stated, he was willing to serve, but preferred that he step down. Also had a follow-up conversation with him this afternoon to verify that we had found someone who was willing to serve, and he was gracious and appreciative, and said if there's anything that he can do for us in the future to let him know. So, thank you, sir.
Thank you. And now where did we stand? Did we have a vote on this?
No, we do not.
We need to vote.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Unanimous? The downtown development, we have two members that will remain on that board. That would be Ken Pint, whose term expires on 12/31 of 2021, and Marty Callahan, who expires on.
Skip. Zoning board of appeals.
We are tabling the.
Oh, okay.
We're not going to have a discussion on that until the next time that we meet.
Okay, sorry.
Sorry.
We make a motion to table that.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to table planning and zoning board to the next time.
We have a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Unanimous. So we have 5 other members on that board, and they are, I'm going to read these names out to you, and then you can be thinking about, I think you should have these. Amy Leake, Jack Dunn, Dave Garner, Robin Leonard, Brad Stevens. So we will put them in, and we'll start at the top on this too. Amy Leake. Do I hear a motion to place her in one of our slots?
I'll make a motion that we put Ms. Leake in, actually Mrs. Leake in the expiry of 12/31/2025.
Have a motion for 12/31/2025 for Amy Lee.
Second.
Second. Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Unanimous. Next on our list was Jack Dunn. I will entertain a motion on that for a date.
Make a motion, we approve Jack Dunn to serve and expire on 12/31/2025.
We have a motion for Jack Dunn on 12/31/2025. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? His term will expire 2025. Next on my list is Dave Garner. I think everybody knows Dave. When would, I'll entertain a motion now to put Dave into either one of these slots, 12/31/2025 or 2021.
Make a motion to approve Dave Garner for 12/31/2025.
Got a motion for 12/21/2025?
Don't we already have 3 in the 25 slot?
That is the third.
That would be the third.
I thought we had Amy, Jack Dunn, and Brad.
No, we haven't done
We
Brad.
haven't done Brad.
We had done Brad, I'm sorry. Excuse me, sir.
12/31/2025. I have a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Unanimous.
Who's that?
Next down on your list is Ken Pint, and he expires in 2021. We have another, our next available that expires in 2021 also. And who we have left is Robin Leonard and Brad Stevens. Let's go with Robin Leonard. Do I hear a motion to place Robin Leonard in one of those two slots?
I make a motion to put Rob Leonard in the 12/31/2021.
We have a motion for 12/31/2021 for Robin Leonard. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Unanimous. And council, that will leave an expiry on 12/31/2020, and that would be our final, and that would be Brad Stevens. I'll need a motion on that.
Make a motion, Brad be appointed to Downtown Development Authority with expiration date of 12/31/20.
We have a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Unanimous. And that will complete our Downtown Development Authority. We have,
Mr. Mayor, may I?
yes,
Just a couple of points that I want to make sure that the public understands, as well as mayor and council. Most of our appointments have evergreen status, where if no one is reappointed in that spot, it will roll over. And I think that's an important tool that we can use for some of these shorter terms. I also think that it's important that we proactively talk about these appointments, as we have done prior to this meeting, to find people that are interested and willing to serve. Qualified.
Yes, sir.
And willing. Also, want to make sure that the public understands that some of these, if not all of them, by either ordinance or Georgia law or our charter, require an oath of office. Not all of them do. And some of them also require education. And want the public to rest assured that we will do whatever is necessary to make sure these people are appropriately appointed. Their duty is documented with the clerk, and we also get them the education they need to perform their duties. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. So I want to, this is from our city charter, page 3549. No member of any board, commission, or authority shall assume office until he shall have executed and filed with the city clerk an oath obligating himself to perform faithfully and impartially the duties of his office, such oath to be prescribed by ordinance and administered by the mayor. And this, I'm assuming, is what, Dr. Proctor, you were referring to?
That's correct.
And while we have our city attorney here, can I ask that that we as a council direct him to search for that oath in our charter, if we don't have one, to make one so that we can make certain that all our new appointees are sworn to office as prescribed by our charter.
If you need a motion to that, I'd be glad to do that.
I do need a motion to that.
Make a motion that we allow our attorney to review our charter and ordinances to verify the necessity of an oath of office and to present that information to us for action.
We have a motion in front of us. Do I hear a second to that motion?
Second.
And we have a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Unanimous. Mr. Seifert, if you will, we would greatly appreciate that.
I'll have something for you this week.
Thank you, sir. So now I have one more appointment. If you will flip your pages to the back, you have the Jasper Housing Authority. I spoke with the lady who runs that. Her name is Ann Dobson. I've only known her forever. But Ann says that she would really appreciate it if we would appoint a gentleman by the name of Vance Farrow to that office. I've also known Vance for quite some time. He has served in that capacity before, and I think he would be an excellent choice to serve again. So I would invite a motion to appoint Vance Farrow to serve as chair of the Jasper Housing Authority.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Please record as unanimous.
Mr. Mayor, I'm sorry to be, so he's a 5-year term. Why is he not? And it says that it expires in 2024. Okay, so 20, that's correct, 2021. Mr. Bogus was appointed a year ago. Okay, I'm good.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay. The Board of Health is complete. It expires in 2022, and we're fine there. And then we got a couple on the library board that will need to be done later. The only thing remaining really is a tree board, and I think that we might need to do a little more research on that. So I would ask for a motion to table any appointments to the tree board until such time as we can investigate exactly what we need to do there.
So moved.
And do I have a second? Any further discussion on the tree board? All in favor? Opposed? So unanimous to table.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir?
on the library board, I'm pretty sure Bobby Edge is no longer on that. And toward the end of the last year of our prior mayor, I believe we made a new appointment to that board. Just don't remember the specifics of that.
So, okay,
We just need to look.
we'll need to research all our appointments on that. And I'm assuming that we're going to ask Mr. Siphon to do that.
It should be a matter of minutes, and I could probably zero in on it. It's only been maybe 2 or 3, maybe 4 months ago.
And do you recall who it was?
No, I do not.
You do not, okay. Well, why don't you just do that and report back to us at our next meeting?
I'll do that.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, before we get off of appointments, there are a number of people who have rotated off these boards. I would like to make a motion to thank them for their service to the city. And I'm just thankful for their service.
So we have a motion to thank those who have rolled off for their service. And we your second, we do. Any further discussion on that? One thing I would ask is that, Mr. Leonard, would you try to compile a list of those who have rolled off so that we can do that properly? Okay, so we have a motion and a
I will
second.
have that available to you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Unanimous. Discussion of holiday schedule. I'm going to defer to Brandon on this for an update.
Yes, sir. Mr. Mayor, Council, in your packet, you may recall last Tuesday, when we approved the 2020 calendar, we suspended any discussion on full holiday schedule so staff could present y'all with the 10 days that the city recognizes, which is in your packet. And for the record, those 10 days that we recognize, New Year's Day, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, Memorial Day, Independence Day, Labor Day, Veterans Day, Thanksgiving Day, Friday after Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, and Christmas Day. There is a floating holiday that's recognized, which is the 11th holiday. In your packet, there's a chart which illustrates side-by-side comparison of Pickens County along with the state of Georgia. If council chose to add an additional holiday, it would be in keeping with the 12 that the state recognizes. It will still be a couple less than Pickens County. Councilmember Sneve had asked me about, as well as others, the cost implications. Finance did a quick computation, and you are looking at about a $7,000 cost associated with implementing another holiday. You've got costs that you're already absorbing through personnel, public safety, wastewater, or not wastewater, but water plant. But in terms of what the cost is, the best answer is $7,000. So it would be a benefit that you all would be providing to the existing and future employees.
Council, what's your pleasure?
So are we proposing that we use the floating one in some specific location? Are we proposing that we add one? Or
You all can, I just want to give you the information. There's not conflicting, there's one story that the floating holiday was instituted kind of to replace a safety day that had been provided in the past. So I'm not sure if there was anything ever really added per se. So you could eliminate that and put it, for the Good Friday, which would keep you at about 11 paid holidays. If you wanted to institute a new one, the Good Friday being one, the cost implication would be about $7,000.
And we do not have that in the budget this year, is that correct? I mean, we don't have anything in the budget for that this year.
Well, the additional cost would be for overtime for public safety folks. Only incremental.
Well, realistically, you would not be getting the benefit of the services that day. The employee cost in terms of paying has already been budgeted for the entire employees.
Mhm.
But the idea is you would not be getting that benefit from those employees. So it's not an additional cost, it's just an additional benefit not received with City Hall being open, trash services not necessarily being run, which I think Finance did look at. If trash was run, the incremental cost is maybe $250, so it would be a management decision if we wanted to run it that Friday, which is a light day. So it's mainly just the expense comes in where you're identifying that day as a holiday. That triggers the ones who are working getting the holiday pay. And the persons who otherwise would have had to take leave, so to speak, wouldn't have to take leave. They would just not work that day. So the cost, there is a cost with services not being rendered, but in terms of throwing the budget out of whack, it has no real impact.
So in the past, if I understand this correctly, there has been, it's been pretty much up to someone, and I think that they have been taking off like a half a day on that day anyway.
Correct.
So all you're really doing is making something official that has in the past been quite unofficial.
And for full disclosure, when I arrived last year, there was a practice, whether consistent or inconsistent. I kind of made a commitment to the elected to bring this up because I did not feel as though that was a city manager decision, since there are cost implications. And I have advised the employees that I was going to bring it up, that I was not going to just arbitrarily say, because it's an injustice to the ones who are working, who then does not get the benefit of time off.
And that's what I was going to say. I think we got to be consistent and fair with every employee. If part of them are getting it, I think we need to give it to all of them or give it to nobody. So, in that respect.
And I looked at the state holidays, and they recognize 12, so with the floating holiday, we only have 11, correct?
Correct.
So the addition of this one would put us more in line with state and more in line with the county. I think the county would still have more.
County was going to have
We're not
two
going to
more.
try to stay up with the county.
Well,
A little bit like
we'd like to be superior to them in every way, and we're working on that.
Well, we are, but
Yes.
we don't get any holiday out of it.
Mr. Mayor, we've not really had the opportunity to talk about philosophies, and I can just share with you as a philosophy, I'm a big proponent of employee satisfaction, and I would see this, I would hope that this would be something that would
Be positive.
be positive.
By,
You know, we've done a lot of things, but I personally think it would be something that,
Councilman Crawford, we are in 100% agreement. That's the way.
Well, and I think the other thing we looked at was us being consistent with the citizens knowing when we're closed.
Right.
So we're not just closing sporadic stuff. We can advertise, these are the days we're closed. People are not trying to pay bills or taxes or that kind of stuff. So
Right.
then everybody knows when we're here and when they have a holiday, and otherwise.
Council, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion, we recognize Good Friday as a holiday and increase our holidays to 12, including the floating holiday.
We have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Please record as unanimous.
I agree. I think we've got some great employees, and I think
We said a good signature.
Dr. Proctor's right. We hope they know that we do appreciate it and try to help them when we can.
Council, I need a motion to go into executive session for some legal matters to be discussed.
So,
Second.
Second.
All in favor? We now stand in executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Favor? I have nothing else.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
So moved. Second.
All in favor? We're adjourned.